tonight. As always, I'm here with my fantastic co-host Gabriel Pickup and Donovan Gibbs. We're going to start out with some recruitment updates. What do you have for us, Gabe?
Yes, sir. Hope everyone's doing well on this lovely Monday evening. The only thing we got for this week in terms of updates, and it's a pretty big one, four-star interior offensive lineman, class of 2027, Terrance Smith, is down to 5 schools. He was offered from 33 schools. And per Hayes Fawcett of On3, his 5 schools were LSU, Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, and Rutgers. Now, I'm getting flashbacks of Jared Smith's recruitment process when it was Rutgers, Georgia, Georgia Tech, and Auburn, and everyone was looking at us silly. But if we were a joke of a school that never had a chance to get Terrance, he would have already considered that and eliminated us. So to me, we have as good a chance as LSU, as Florida, Auburn, and Tennessee. And there's some key factors at play here, possibly playing time, staying close to home. He's from Philadelphia, well, the Philadelphia area, because Mr. Fawcett, he's technically not in Philadelphia. He goes to Lansdale Christian High School, which is about 30 to 40 minutes away from Philly, about 20 minutes away from me. And so I am curious, Donovan, Adam, what would be your pitch to Terrance Smith to come to Rutgers? Oh, you're muted, Donovan.
I will let Adam go first on this. I got to prepare my thoughts.
So Terrance Smith is from Philadelphia.
The greater Philadelphia area.
All right, so I have 3 pitches to him. Number 1, you're going to start from day 1, and you're going to start on a competitive team that is rising, and that's going to become the next Indiana. Number 2, we're going to develop you so that you play on Sundays. We got to convince him that Rutgers is still a pipeline to the NFL, and the combination of starting on day 1 and the commitment to his development, I think, can be persuasive. The third thing is we got to sell him on the Rutgers as a university, as an institution, that he's not just coming here to play football. He's coming here to get a top-notch elite education that's going to serve him well when football is over. The last thing I would do is I would match whatever LSU, Florida, Auburn, or Tennessee pay him. So those 4 things.
Okay.
If I'm the offensive line coach, Jim Turner, I'm going to meet up with Terrance and just tell him these things. Jim Turner has had 30 years worth of college and NFL experience at the coaching offensive line. So he's seen guys that were 4 stars, 3 stars, 5 stars that were able to flourish in the NFL, that were able to just get to college, some that may have got to college and went downwards, some that went to college and were able to build their stock. And I would just tell him, I've seen these guys throughout my 3 decades, and I know what I can do to mold you into a guy that gets to the league in 3 years. Because that's most likely what his goal is going to be, depending on wherever he goes to. Yes, the money is going to play a major factor, as it is in modern college recruiting. But a lot of these schools don't have the same type of experienced offensive line coaches that Rutgers may have. We have a guy in Jim Turner that's been around the block for 3 decades at this point. Wow. When it comes to LSU, yes, they have gotten a lot of highly talented offensive linemen before in the past, but they're onto a new coaching regime. How is he going to handle with that, knowing that the thing is with Lane Kiffin, how long is he really going to stay at these schools? That's still up into play. When you're talking about Auburn, another thing as well, new coaching staff. And you can say that about Tennessee as well. Well, you can't really say that about Tennessee. Josh Heupel's been there for a little bit of time. But for Tennessee, is he really going to be a day 1 starter? If he wants to be a part of a program that's going to have established with a head coach that's been around for a while, and he's known to not just leave at any moment's ask, because that's going to be a thing that a lot of players ask for right now, especially at his time as a junior, because let's say a coach leaves when he's a senior, that scholarship might not stay, or that scholarship offer might not stay as it was during his junior year, because when a new coach comes in, he might want to go different visions with how he recruits. So if I'm Jim Turner, I'm telling him Shiano has been here for the last decade, and he's been a part of this program for overall 20 years. He's been with the guys that have been to the NFL, guys that needed an opportunity to shine. You're going to most likely have that playing time because you're going to be playing on a team that's still competitive in the Big Ten level, which is a thing that NFL scouts are going to look at. You're going to have guys looking at you day after day, game after game. And as well as I have the coaching experience to get you to the league in 3 years.
Yeah, I think those are great points. I would also add one thing I think they have to focus on too is talk to him about the players he's going to have around him on that offensive line. That he's going to be complemented by elite level players that are going to help build, the type of Big Ten offensive line that keeps them competitive. Hook him up with Jared Smith, so that so Jared can explain to him what drew him to Rutgers. But I think you got to sell him on, and Jason was right. I wouldn't promise him he's going to start on day one, but he's going to have the opportunity to compete for playing time in his first year. He's going to get a great education. And he's going to be part of a developmental process that by year 3 has him going to the combine. And then he's going to be doing it with players around him that are going to complement him. He's not going to be a lone star on a weak unit.
So I've got a lot of questions with this, but before we get into that, I was looking at this, and obviously it's very rare for a lineman to start on day one, especially under Coach Schiano. Because one, Schiano doesn't really play rooks like that. You have to really prove yourself, and even then, it's maybe towards the end of the season. But also, just because in general that position it's tough because you get bigger throughout your college experience. Donovan, I'm sure you can speak on it too. That you were a lot stronger your senior year than your freshman year.
Right now, the senior in college definitely was stronger than I was at his time as a junior in high school. But the thing is, I will say as well, he might not play year 1, year 2, and that's going to be, honestly, for his situation, potentially a good thing because he's going to have a good offensive line coach to help develop him because he has shown things on tape that are going to need some fine-tuning before he gets to college because if he doesn't fix a couple of things in his game. Overall, his game is great. I enjoyed watching his tape, 4 minutes of film that I honestly was excited rep after rep. But there are things that I did see at playing at a D1 level that would get exposed by D1 defenders either on his team or on the opposing teams.
Yeah, let me so we said his measurements are 6'6", 290. And Jason, you mentioned Anthony Davis. That's like the pinnacle of offensive linemen for Rutgers to measure up to. And Anthony Davis, an inch smaller, 6'5", but he was 323 by the time he was playing every week for Rutgers. So that size is overall that's a big man.
That's 30, 40 pounds that he might put on in the span of a year, 2 years.
He could put that on this upcoming season, and I'm not saying it's impossible. He could start day one. Like, he is that rare exception that it's possible because he's a top 15 offensive lineman in his class. He's a top 10 Philadelphia or Pennsylvania prospect in his class, and he doesn't even have Penn State as an option. So if you want to sell him on something too, I say, hey, you're close to home in a school that you want to be at. That would be my other pitch. But I do have some questions in terms of, I hope that he will still consider us in like a week or two for sure. But, we're in his top 5 out of the 33 offers. I think that means he knows our gist. But, the question is really, we were talking about like developing offensive linemen into NFL talent. Do either of you guys remember the last time? Has there been anyone since Anthony Davis that, Holland Pierce made a practice squad, but has there been anyone else that's not just been drafted or made a practice squad from Rutgers on the offensive line, but had an actual role in the NFL since Anthony Davis?
Not really. I don't
want that to be.
I think this year might change that because I know in the upcoming draft we're gonna have Taylor Needham is going to be the guy that's going to break that drive spell, at least at the tackle position. Yeah. But overall, no. I don't think there's really been a guy that's been able to establish himself as an NFL career.
Zelinskas has a chance in the same way that Holland Pierce had a chance. So it's I'm not certain. I don't know if he'll get drafted, but even if he does get drafted, he'll have a lot of work to do. But so I don't think that it's necessarily we sell him on making the NFL. I think we sell him on being a possible leader.
Nah, if I'm Jim Turner, I'm selling him on making it to the NFL because he's done it before.
That's
worked
true.
with
Jim
guys
Turner
such
is
as-
not Pat Flaherty or anyone else in the past.
Do we know how fast Terrance Smith is? What his 40 is?
That I did not see. I can real quick.
If you look at potentially some of his camp days, whenever he done a prospect camp at 24/7 or Rivals, I know he's gotten invited to a lot of them because they invite you if you got offers.
Oh, I got another question when you're done with your
not shoot it.
All right, word. Is it concerning, or is it just because Jim Turner is new that on 247 Sports, LSU, he's being recruited by Eric Wolford, Florida, Phil Troutwine, Auburn, Tyler Hudenick, Tennessee, Glenn Ellerby, but we don't have a top recruiter per this website. Is it just because Jim Turner is new? Is there something I'm missing? Is that a bad sign?
It might be. I know that if he's getting looked at right now, Turner is definitely interested. If he just got the job in December, so this is most likely his board of guys that he's looked into with his staff, his assistants, his GAs, and they're definitely looking at this dude as potentially a guy that can fill in that gap once Needham leaves, once Asamoah leaves, once potentially Giwa leaves because he's going to be a junior. He's going to be a junior going into his senior year next year. So there is some spots at tackle that needs to be filled. And yeah, we've gotten guys through the portal, but right now they're definitely looking at high school talent that they can build and develop so they can have that as well besides looking at the portal, because looking at the portal, especially in the Big Ten, there's a lot of big spenders and Rutgers isn't at that level yet when it comes to spending money.
I think one of the biggest concerns for me is who we're competing against. LSU, Florida, Auburn, Tennessee. I think Smith
he's going to be sitting. If the thing is, he's going to sit for a while. If he goes to
he would be
Auburn,
sitting for 2
Florida,
years in
Tennessee.
either of those places for sure.
Yeah, that's true, but it's going to be hard for him to turn down Death Valley when he goes down there and meets with Kiffin. That's my concern. Is that the likelihood is.
But the thing is,
yeah, you got
since he's still a junior, is not as much as a scary sign. Even if let's say he commits to another school right now, he's a junior. He still has another year before he even thinks about signing the paper.
Yeah, we've seen so many players retract their commitments over.
Last year. We saw it last year.
Oh yeah, we saw it with guys coming to us. We saw it with guys leaving us. And if we want to talk about LSU being scary under Lane Kiffin, that is true. But we have a piece of LSU in Piscataway to possibly do some recruiting too.
Hey, don't forget the Swamp. The Swamp is a crazy, crazy place on Saturday, humid Saturday afternoons and evenings.
Oh God, I fear that double entendre.
I just wanted to ask y'all about this though. When it comes to how much we're going to recruit this dude, do you think of any other tackles that Rutgers could be looking at right now?
In terms of class of 2027, I'm not really that tapped in, honestly, yet. I usually get tapped in with the juniors turning seniors really over summer heading into week 1 because that's when I know we're getting the top tape. So I couldn't tell you, unfortunately.
Because in their 2026 class, they only recruited in like 2-3 tackles.
I thought they had 10 IOLs in class of 2026, no?
That's the thing. This dude isn't really an IOL. He plays. I'm just gonna go into this. So it's on his tape. Yes, he's listed as an interior lineman, but he's playing half of the reps at tackle on his tape, and we're seeing that he's comfortable, and he's more comfortable at a 3-point stance than he is at a 2-point stance. But he has shown both. And my thing is, if he ends up watching this, and if he ever sees this clip online, you're gonna have to choose one of those stances. Because if you don't, and it's going to give a tell to the defense that's scouting you, especially on the week of a game. Because especially on his tape, he's in a 2-point stance when they're throwing the ball, and he's in a 3-point stance when they're running the ball. So once you see him in either stance, it's going to be able to declare for a defense, oh, the offense is doing this based off of that. He has a tell.
Are you
And
sure it's not coincidental, like by any crazy chance?
no. Every run play that he's been in, either at guard or tackle, has been him in a 3-point stance. And the only times that he's done a 2-point stance throughout his tape, just based off his 4-minute tape, has been on pass pro and has been on plays where they're doing toss sweeps.
Okay, well, maybe he's at the point right now where it's
He's
like
not really thinking. The thing is, as a junior in high school football, you're not really thinking about these things. These are things that come into play when you get to college, when you're playing up with guys on the other side of the line that's around the same size as you, at 6'4", 6'5". Right now, a lot of the guys that he's playing against, he's a man amongst boys, and that comes with a lot of guys, especially at offensive line, coming out of high school. That's why we all go to college, and then they figure out who's really cut out for the college game based off of how they play against people their size. And I bet he does great against people their size. He's a 4-star for a reason. He definitely played against other 3, 4, or 5 stars at either prospect camps or during in his conference in Pennsylvania. But he has some things he needs to work on technical wise that if he didn't going into college, it would definitely hinder him a little bit going into a new offensive game plan, and especially played up against bigger guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in terms of his stance, maybe he's at a position right now, and his coach too, where it's like the Eagles with the tush push before this past year, where it's like, it's coming, you can't stop it.
I just see it as more of he's comfortable in more of a 3-point stance. At least that's where I've seen. That's what I would say, because he has shown that he has had better leverage coming out of that stance because he's lower. Typically, when you're in a 2-point stance, you're kind of barely squatting at tackle, so you're already playing high. And as an offensive lineman, the saying goes, the lowest man wins, especially in the trenches. Yep. So if he's playing up at 6'6", a guy in college that's most likely going to have the same amount of strength that he has, all he's going to do is attack his chest. And if he attacks his chest, he's going to win that rep. Right now, he's winning a lot of his reps because he's taller and he has a lot of size. But I will give him credit where credit is due. He has good feet. And that's where I can see if he plays guard, that's why he feels comfortable. He's in his tape. He was very comfortable in open space. He made a lot of quick decisions in open space. And the thing my offensive line coach has taught me, if you hesitate in open space, you're going to fuck up the play. He's made good decisions, quick decisions. He feels comfortable at the second level, and he's been fitting well at the second level. And the thing is, in college, it matters about what you do at the first level. But the thing is, chunk plays and explosive plays, 20 yards plus, happen if you're able to get up to the second level on defenders.
Is it called a 2-point stance because it looks like you're squatting to take a poo?
I actually got to ask about that. I never knew. I just
always thought of it as
2-point stance, you're barely squatting. Like you're in a squatting type of position. 3-point stance, you got the hand in the dirt. 4-point stance, you got both hands.
Yeah, I'm not good with a 3-point stance. Then again, I haven't played football in 12 years.
You're not good with a 3-point stance. You're not good with any stance. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. I haven't played in 12 years, but when I did play.
This is coming from the guy who goes to an Eagles game with no gas in his tank.
That has nothing to do with a 2-point, 3-point stance.
It has everything to do with it. It shows irresponsibility.
That doesn't, again, responsibility has nothing to do with a stance. But when I can't shoot off my legs, though, I always commend linemen who can.
You could do it a lot better than I could. I couldn't even freaking get down in the stance. My back would crumble.
Yeah, it is. The thing is also in his stances, especially when he comes out of the 3, that's where you're seeing his feet move at a great rate. The thing is, especially as his size at tackle, you got to keep your feet moving always, or you might lose that rep. There was certain instances where his feet died the minute he touched the defender, and hopefully in his senior year, he looks back at his tape and he recognizes, oh, I got to fix that. And I got to keep my feet moving throughout the entire spots of the play, because one, that's going to keep him from getting hurt. You never really get hurt unless if your feet die, that's when people can roll up on you. And that's when knee, calf, ankle, all that can happen. That's happened to me in the past. And primarily a lot of my injuries when I was in college and in high school were because my feet were dead and someone rolled up on me. He keeps his feet moving. Yeah. That isn't going to happen. And as well, I would say if his feet die on contact, especially in college, that's when you have the defender has you at his will.
Yeah.
That's the nastiest injury. With seeing someone fall and roll up on the lower leg, the calf area.
Oh,
That's scary. And
Yeah.
the thing is, especially in college, it happens a lot, and it happens when your feet die.
Okay. Makes sense. And I think that the issue about 2-point versus 3-point stance, giving it away, whatnot, picking a stance, that's going to be fixed very quickly no matter where he goes, but certainly by Jim Turner and Shiano.
Turner would make him look great because the thing is, he's worked with athletic big guys before. Jake Matthews is one of the better athletic guards in the entire NFL.
Yes.
And he has the ability to really do damage in space, especially in a Rutgers offense that's known for running counter, running downhill runs, running a lot of duo. He could play a strong role in this offense, whether it's any sort of running back in that backfield when he gets onto campus.
Yes, sir. So with that being said, Terrance Smith, you know where to come. It's just a matter of you making that decision on your own.
great analysis.
Thank you. I try. His tape was good to watch. 4 minutes, only 2 plays weren't pancakes.
Damn. Was he playing? Was he playing? I keep forgetting what that song is by Kid Ink.
You Give Love a Bad Name.
No, that's Kid Jovi.
No, that's Bon Jovi.
It's Bon Jovi.
But yeah, you know where to come. You and Jared Smith could certainly be a duo of the future, whether you're guard, tackle. I'm just excited. But yeah, that's it for Terrance Smith recruitment.